Welcome to Potty Training in 3 Days. I'm glad you're here today to learn how to do this step by step by step. So, do me a favor, let me know where you're located and where you are in the process with potty training. Put that in the comment section. Are you frustrated with it? Tried it's failed? Are you planning for it? Are you thinking ahead, preparing because your child's going to be needing potty trained pretty soon? Put that in the comment section. And I'm going to go in here and here we go. I'm putting in my website because um, there's some stuff there you might want to grab. Okay, here we go. All right, so this is the website that you can go on to get information. My website is finally revised. It's PamelaPalanza.com. All of my content, links to my reels, all my social media are all in one place. So I try to simplify it for you and for me. Okay, during this 30 minutes, and it's probably going to take me about 30 minutes to do this, I am going to try to answer questions. I can't promise I'm going to get them all in here. So if you put questions in the comment section, at the end, if there's time, I will answer them. If not, I will get to them later today or tomorrow and answer your questions as best I can. So here are your options. You can sit and take notes during this whole process. You can wait until I download this when we're done and put it up onto my website. There is a tab called Facebook Lives, and all of the lives I've done so far are there. So if you missed this today or you want to watch it again, just go to the Facebook Lives. It'll either be up today or tomorrow. The third option is you can go on to PamelaPalanza.com to the content corner, scroll down to potty training, and you can purchase the ebook, download it instantly, and you'll have all of this information right there at your fingertips. So that's entirely up to you. But let's get started. So let's just say from the very beginning, this is 3 days. 3 days of your life. You're going to clear your calendar and you're going to stay home for 3 days. Now, some people have said, I don't have 3 days. I can't do it. I work. I don't have time off like that. Well, that's fine. If you can take vacation time off to get 3 days in there, awesome. If you can't, some people have done it in 2 days. That could work for you. But don't put pressure on yourself. If it won't work, it just won't work. I have some people, some followers who have said my child's neurodivergent. Will this work for them? I don't know. You know your child. It may or it may not. You can give it a shot. If it doesn't work, just back off, right? So I can't promise it's for everybody, and there are different ways to potty train. This is one I have personally used with my children. It has worked with all of them. My daughter's used it with her kids. It has worked with all of them. In fact, she just finished potty training her 2.5-year-old son a couple weeks ago. So I know this works from personal experience, but you know your child, you know yourself, and you need to decide if this is something that would work for your family. So, okay, here we go on this one. Now I'm going to check messages real quick, make sure I'm not missing anything. Okay, the ideal time to potty train is between 18 and 24 months of age. Now I have had followers say to me, well, I was potty trained at 15 months, but that's great. If it worked, good. Sometimes when you do it too early, it backfires. So just keep that in mind. But again, all children are different. I have had some people say they potty trained their kids at 8 and 9 months old. I never heard of that before, and maybe they did. That's awesome. Okay, this is for children typically between 18 and 24 months old. You can train them later. Circumstances might be such that you have to wait. However, know the later you work, the harder it can be because a child can resist more. So if you get in between that 18 to 24 month, 2.5, that's the best time to do it. Okay, but you have to make sure your child is ready. So you just don't okay, let's potty train. No, you have to make sure they're ready. And here's signs of readiness. Are they waking up dry from a nap? Are they waking up from the night dry? That would be amazing. Do they say the words pee and poop? Do they know what that means? Can you communicate with them easily? They understand what you're saying and you can, understand some commands. Are they interested and curious about pottying? Like you're in the bathroom and they're like wondering what you're doing and they want to flush or go up and wash their hands. So if you see any of these signs, those are usually signs of readiness. And that means, okay, we can give this a shot, right? Um, okay, one just came in, Hazel, 18 months old. Okay, you don't think she's ready now? Well, just wait a little bit. That's fine. Don't pressure yourself, but you can get all the information you need right here. Don't pressure yourself on this one. Okay, so you think they're ready. Great. And now you got to plan for it. So let me just say this, some things you don't want to do. When you should not potty train. If you think your child is not ready, don't push it. That's one of the worst things you can do. If you're sick, if your child is sick, if you're traveling, if you're going to move to a new home, if you're transitioning your child from, say, their crib to a bed, those are all milestones. Don't potty train then. Hold off, because you're just going to make it harder for yourself. Now, that being said, when my son was 21 months old, I was 3 months away from delivering his sister, and I potty trained his behind because I did not want to have an infant and toddler in diapers, and it worked. Now, for him, literally 3 days, I had him day and night trained completely. It was incredible. Now, my daughters, I had two daughters after that, they were daytime trained in 3 days, but they took longer at night. I think it was actually probably 5 or 6 months for them because they were both very heavy sleepers. And so I put them in pull-ups at night. And we're going to talk about that in a little bit. Okay, so your child's ready, but consider other circumstances that could interfere with it. And if that's all clear and you're ready to proceed, okay, here's where you need to get started. Now, you're going to need to prep some things. Okay, first of all, one of the good things you can do is involve your child in this whole process. So as you're preparing for the potty training, you need to be talking about it to your child. You know, oh, you're getting to be a big boy or a big girl. We're going to put you in big girl panties. You're going to go on the potty. Let's get your baby doll and your teddy bear and let them practice and pretend they're teaching them how to do it. You're going to start reading them books about potty training. You're going to discuss it, not constantly in their face, but, mention it casually if you're at the store. Oh, look, they have big boy panties. You're going to wear those when you get potty trained. Okay, so you're kind of easing them into the process, kind of bringing it to their attention, and then you're ready. Okay, so you're going to go to the store. Now, this is really, really important. You take your child with you. Now, make sure it's a time when they're not tired, they're not hungry, they're not sick, they're not cranky. You want this to be a fun and exciting experience for them and for you, right? So you're going to go to the store, and you're going to buy a potty chair or an insert for a toilet, the seat insert, or both. Okay, now here's my personal opinion on this. After potty training 3 children, the potty chair is safer and they feel more secure because it's on the ground, it's their size, they sit on it, they're not worried about falling off the toilet. My daughter bought one off of Amazon, cutest little thing, I'm sure some of you have seen it, that it makes a flushing sound. So as soon as he would pee or poop, he would reach over and hit that little handle and it would make the flushing sound, and he loved that. Okay, and then she would help him. She would take it to the bathroom. He'd help her and dump it out, and he'd flush the big toilet. But she also had an inset on the toilet because she had the potty chair off their kitchen in their laundry room area, but then in the bathroom, which was also like through the kitchen, through the dining room, through the family room, there's a powder room, and she had that on the toilet. It had handles on it though, so he could hold on, and he used both, but he preferred the little potty chair. So whatever you think's going to work, whatever you can afford to do that. All right, so you get the potty chair, the potty inset, and then you're going to get big boy underwear, big girl underwear, and I'm not talking training pants. I mean big boy and big girl underwear with like characters on them, princesses, Paw Patrol, whatever they like. You let them choose it, pick it out. I'd get a couple packages, obviously, of that, okay? Then you're going to get stickers. And again, you let them pick it out, but you let them know these are not for right now. These are for when you potty train. So it's like a motivator because they want one of those stickers. If they start fussing in the store because they want the stickers, just buy them another pack of a different kind of sticker just to keep them happy with the whole process, and put those stickers away. Okay, those are for another thing. They're not for today. Stickers aren't for today, they're for potty training, these special ones. Then you're going to get a sticker chart. Now you can buy one. They think someone told me they sell them at the dollar store. I have them on my stand store for like $2. And you can make one, honestly. Just get a piece of paper, make a grid, check, check, just like a giant tic-tac-toe board, and lots of spaces. That's all you need. You don't have to get too fancy with all of this, okay? And then you're going to get a kitchen timer, and this is really, really important, because you're going to have that timer wherever you are or wherever your child is. And it has to make a ding, and you can get them at Walmart, Target, Amazon, a loud sound that they're going to hear. Now, I will caution you, do not use your phone. I had a lady who said she used the alarm on her phone, and after her child was successfully potty trained, whenever her alarm would go off on her phone for what things she had it set for, he would pee. It was like it was just triggered him to go to the bathroom. So I advise strongly against using your cell phone. Get that kitchen timer. And then another really important thing you don't want to miss is you need what's called a motivator, their reward. Something they get for after going to the bathroom. Now, in my daughter's case, she used mini chocolate chips, and her son got 1 for peeing and 2 for pooping. Now, you can do it 1 for each. It doesn't matter. I have had people that do 3 for pooping, however you want to do it. So the motivator is something they're not used to having. Now, candy. I've had people say, I don't want to give my children candy. Fine. Pretzels, goldfish, cheese puffs, cookies. Fine. You don't want to do food? Okay, too. Band-Aids. I had one lady say she did Band-Aids, and her child would love playing with Band-Aids. One lady used headphones. Her child got to use the headphones for a few minutes every time they went on the potty. Okay, so, excuse me. Do what you know motivates your child, but something that they don't get on a regular basis. This is not something they're going to have every day. In my daughter's case, her children rarely get candy, and it is a really special treat. So that was very motivating for her son. And they would FaceTime me, and he'd say, I got candy. Or I'd stop by the house, and he'd run to the door and go, Jeep, Jeep, I got candy. When he went, he was so excited. So you see how motivating that was for him? Okay, so now you've got all this stuff together, and you're ready. You've talked about it to your child. You know, they've put their baby doll on the potty or their teddy bear, or if the boys want to use an action figure, whatever it is. You've gotten potty books and read to them. I also want you to grab a stack of books from the library maybe, or buy some books that you know your child will really like. You don't let them see these until potty training. These books live where the potty chair is. So when your child is on the potty chair, they're looking at a book. Okay, and they stay there. They don't take them out after. They only get to look at them when they're there. All right, so let's get this process started. First thing you're going to do is when they get up in the morning, when you're going to get started. Oh, let me just say this. Let me tell you a couple of tips. I don't want to forget these, so I'm going to refer to my notes because I want to make sure I don't forget any of these. You're going to set the potty chair up a couple of days in advance of you getting started. Okay, so they're familiar with it. They see it in there. It's no big deal. If they want to sit on it with their clothes on, let them do that. You know, that's when they can put their teddy bear or the baby doll on. Make it just a comfortable thing. It's not all of a sudden you plop a potty chair down one day, okay, sit on it. They need to be familiar with it. So put it out, make it like no big deal, okay? Buy the sticker chart and make one, and that's going to go on the wall right beside where they potty, on their eye level and their reach, okay? We're going to talk about that in a minute. Your rewards, your motivators, the candy, the food, they're going to stay in the bathroom if they're not food. If they're food, you keep them out of the bathroom, but very close by, because children need instant gratification. You don't want to have to go, hold on a minute, I got to walk upstairs, you know, whatever. It has to be close by, okay? So you have the motivators close by. You make sure the stickers are up, the motivators are up, so they can't touch them, they can't reach them, only when you bring them down for them. That's extremely important. Okay, and then you have your grid up and set 3 days aside for this. Now, here's the deal. You clear your calendar for 3 days and you're not leaving the house. Nope. I had one lady say, well, we had to make a quick run to CVS and my child peed her pants. Well, that happens, right? You're supposed to stay home for 3 consecutive days. You don't leave the house. Now, you maybe go out in the backyard for a little bit, go out in the front yard, the timer's with you, but you don't leave the house. Here's another important thing. I had somebody ask me one time, well, can my husband do it one day and I do it the next? No. Nope. You need the same person who knows the process, who is consistent with this, and is going to know exactly how to follow through. Otherwise, you're confusing your child. So 3 days, not leaving your house, one person. Okay? Those are big parameters there. Okay. So, first thing we're going to do, you're going to talk to your child about potty training. Tomorrow, when you get up, you're going to go on the potty chair. We're going to get rid of your diapers. You're going to have big girl panties or big boy panties. Get them all excited. Read them a book about potty training, all that good stuff. They go to sleep, get up in the morning. Now, if they're wet, you're going to change their diaper. You're going to put them in a pair of underwear and a t-shirt. That's all they're going to wear for 3 days, period. Now, I've had some people say they just left them with a t-shirt on and no pants on. That's your choice. That's totally your choice. But I always put pants on mine. So underwear, t-shirt, that's it. If they wake up dry, you immediately take them to the bathroom, you sit them on the potty, you start the process right then. Okay? So take the diaper off, put them on the potty. When they get up, they go into underwear and a t-shirt. And that's it. Now, this is a really important step. You go with your child wherever you have the diapers. You have them physically carry the diapers to the trash can, throw them away. No more diapers. You say no more diapers. Big girl pants, big boy pants, no more diapers. Toss them in the trash. I know. Some of you are going, are you nuts? Those are so expensive. No, I'm not nuts, because here's what you're going to do. When they go out for a nap, you're going to go grab those things right out of the trash. You're going to put them in the house and hide them where they don't ever see them again. And you're going to either pass them on to somebody, or you're going to keep them if you're planning on having other children. But please, whatever you do, don't really throw those away. Okay? I had to do this when I was taking my son off the bottle at a year. We threw them in the trash can outside, the bottles. I nursed him for 9 months. Then we did bottles till he was a year. And then we physically went outside and he threw all the bottles in the trash. And then the minute I put him down for a nap, I got them all out because I was planning on having other children. Do the same thing with the diapers, okay? So you throw them away. Now your potty training's begun. And here's what you do. You set a timer for 30 minutes. And you put it wherever you are. So if you're having breakfast, you put the child up. You say, well, let's eat breakfast. I'm putting the timer on for potty. You put it somewhere where the child can see it. They can't touch it. You don't want them touching it. Put it up. Go about your business. As soon as it dings, you say, let's go potty. You take them in. Teach them how to pull their pants down, because you want them to know how to do this themselves. Pull their pants down. They sit on the potty. You give them a book to read. You sit there with them. You are closely supervising this at all times. Okay. So you sit there with them. You don't talk about the process. You don't go on and on. You just sit there with them. Let them read a book. Talk about the book. Give it like a minute. And then if they've peed, that's when you go crazy. You're like, yes! Oh my gosh, look what you did. You peed in the potty. I was so happy for you. You should be so excited. Let's call daddy. Let's call grandpa. You know, you go a little crazy there. Now, some people are like, yeah, I'm not doing that. That's your choice. But you get excited for them. Your level of excitement is up to you. You get excited. And you start clapping and cheering. And then you go, oh my gosh, you keep it in the potty. You get a sticker, right? So that's why while they're literally like on the potty chair, your sticker chart is right here. You hand them the stickers, like the sheet of stickers, and you say, pick one. And they physically peel that off themselves. It's not like you're taking off and handing it to them. You let them physically peel that off. That's reinforcing and motivating. They put it on the sticker chart, and again, you cheer, hoot, and holler, right? Now you get them up. If you're on a potty chair on the floor, you get them up. You tell them pull their pants up. If they're a boy and they've just peed, you know, that's fine. Girl, you need a wipe. But pull the pants up. And then you take the insert out of the potty seat. You take it to the toilet. You dump it in. They can watch. And if they want to flush, let them flush. Because some would like to wave goodbye to their poop or their pee. And you cheer some more. Okay, now let me stop here for 1 second and say this. Some children are afraid of that flushing noise because it's very loud. So if your child does not like that, just let them dump it in and leave it at that. And once they're out of the bathroom, then you flush. Okay? At that point, now they're going to the sink. They're going to wash their hands, soap, water, wash hands, dry them, get down. That's the entire process. So even if they don't go, so let's say they're on the potty for a minute They don't go, you go, okay, let's go play. Nothing about you didn't go, why didn't you go? Nothing. Just go, okay, let's go. But they still go and wash their hands because they've been in the bathroom. So they still go and wash their hands. Now, if you're using an inset into a toilet, some kids are very afraid of that because it's unstable and they feel uncomfortable, depending on the age of your child. So you also obviously need to be very close by in case that happens. But if they're sitting on the potty and they peed or they pooped and then they flush, sometimes it just freaks them out because they're afraid they're going to get sucked down the toilet or something. So I would get them off the potty and then have them flush if they want to flush. Okay? Now, then you're going to leave the bathroom and you're going to go about your business, whatever you do next. Take the timer with you at all times so it's nearby that the child can hear it as soon as it dings. That's their signal. We need to go to the bathroom. All right? Just repeat it every 30 minutes. If you see your child having accidents in between, you don't make a big deal out of it. You just go, accidents happen. Let's clean it up. So I would advise you have extra undies, maybe t-shirt, bag, plastic bag, wipes, paper towels, whatever you're going to need, the spray cleaner to clean it up. And when that happens, you just clean it up, put clean pants on your child, and go about your business. Now, my daughter, she put towels all over her couches. She took all the rugs off her floors because she wanted him not to be upset if he peed or to ruin anything because he's peed on it, right? But you do what you want to do there. It was very successful for her that way. Okay, so if they have an accident, which they probably will, that's not uncommon, that's okay. But set that timer for 30 minutes. Now, if you see that they're having accidents in between, back it down to maybe 15 or 20 minutes. Back it down for a while. Every 15 or 20 minutes, a ding goes, you go to the bathroom. And maybe by day 2, you can push it back to 30 minutes, okay? But you constantly repeat this process over and over and over again. Now, I've had people say to me, well, my child won't poop. Well, okay, could be constipation, and if that's an issue for real, you need to talk to the pediatrician about that. Let me just back up. I forgot to tell you this. The day of potty training, lots and lots and lots of water. Give your child lots of water. Salty foods, pretzels, crackers, popcorn, things that are salty so they're thirsty and they're going to want to drink. Okay, now back to the pooping. I've had people say to me, well, my child won't poop. They'll pee all day long, but they'll wait till I get the diaper on them or the pants on them and then they poop. And please don't put diapers back on them. Let me just back that up. And we're going to talk about nighttime pottying in a minute. But they won't poop. Here's what you can do. Get a latex balloon. Now, you make sure you're sitting right with your child and you make sure they do not have a latex allergy. And you give them this balloon to blow up. And the muscles that they need to blow that balloon release the sphincter muscles and they'll poop sometimes. Okay, that's a little trick you can try. Okay. And that's just how the process works. You repeat this 3 days in a row. Are you going to have accidents after that? You might, sure. But you need to be prepared. So you pack the extra clothes, you pack the wipes, you pack the paper towels, you pack the plastic bags in your car, and you venture out in the world. But just make sure you're still being consistent about maybe every hour going, okay? You can stretch it a little bit. So that's the basics. It's simple. You just repeat it over and over and over again. They get their candy. They put their sticker. Let me back up. I forgot to say this. They put their sticker on the wall. They flush, wash their hands. Now they get their reward. Whether it's the candy, headphones, Band-Aids, whatever. That's huge. I didn't mean to skip that part. You have to do that part. That's what motivates them because they know they're going to get that. All right, nighttime training. Now you have options here. So with my son, 3 days, nights, done. He was trained. I did not put diapers on him. Never put diapers back on him ever. Pull-ups. I did pull-ups for him. My daughter used pull-ups for her daughter, and she uses them for this one, and she calls them nighttime underwear, right? So pull-ups, some people use. My son, I put him in big boy underwear and plastic pants over the plastic trainers. I don't know if they still have those, over top. I put a mattress cover on his bed. I made sure I had extra sheets handy, towels handy, because likely he could really pee through and even leak out of the plastic, and then I'd have to clean that all up. Now, what I did was I set the timer for every hour. Yeah, I didn't get much sleep for 3 days. But every hour, I woke him up, I put him on the potty, we did the whole process. No, I didn't scream and hoot and holler when it was the middle of the night, but I got him back to bed. My daughters, I had leaving pull-ups for a while longer. They were both very, very heavy sleepers. So you choose how you want to do this. Some people go, absolutely not, I'm not using pull-ups. That's fine. You do whatever works for you, but don't make this difficult for anybody, okay? This is supposed to be a fun process. And it's so rewarding when your child, they're so proud of themselves that they get to wear big boy underwear or big girl underwear, and you get to save all that money on diapers. It is so worth it. So worth it. Okay, I'm going to stop right there and answer any questions. Let's see, 28 months old, he's not seemed to be ready. Okay, what makes you think he's not ready? I kind of need some indicators that say why he's not ready, because by that age, he should be ready. It should be close. Fully trained day and night in 2 days. My daughter, 2 months until she was fully trained. You know what? It happens. I mean, like I said, my son, 3 days, night and day. It was like, wow, this is so easy. And then my daughters were daytime trained beautifully, but nighttime, that did not work. And I was certainly not waking myself up every night, for an hour, for months. I just put pull-ups on them. I didn't want to make this stressful for anybody. And they were fine. Okay, you have a question here coming in. Let's see. I have a 3-year-old daughter. I'm currently 11 weeks pregnant with my second. But lately you've been having a bit of a power struggle potting and having uptick in accidents. Okay, it sounds like it's a bit of a regression. And I'm thank you, Faith, for bringing that up, because that does happen sometimes. So it's normal. If she knows, especially you're going to have another baby, I would just wait. I'd back off for a couple weeks, and I would wait, and I would start playing with the teddy bear or the baby doll and getting them used to it and letting her do that with them. But I wouldn't force this on her, because you're going to have a power struggle, and then she's going to back off. Because let me tell you, that's the one thing you cannot control in their lives. You can't control when they're going to pee or poop. You don't have that ability to do that. You control everything else. When they go to bed, when they get up, what they eat, what they wear, where they go, what they do. But you cannot control this. So sometimes it becomes a power struggle. Back off. Don't stress yourself out over that, or your child. It's just not worth it. Okay, daughter 2. She understands the concept of pottying. Here we go. Let's see. Okay, she understands sometimes she throws a fit on the potty, and sometimes she's fine with it. Okay, if she throws a fit, get her up. Immediately get her up. Do not make her sit there. If she's sitting there, does she have a book to read? Is she engaged or just sitting? You need to have something to engage them that makes them want to sit, but you don't let them sit too long. It's only like a minute or two, not even 2 minutes. I would say a minute, if that. So if she's fighting it, stop immediately and just set that timer and start again. Okay. She always said I pooped in her diaper or undies. She's about to poop, then go to the toilet. Okay, let me make sure I'm understanding this. She also always said I pooped in her diapers. That means she's really ready. And that's what I saw my grandson do. When he would poop and he'd tell me he pooped. And I was like, oh, he is so ready. When he's telling you, they're ready. Any suggestions on this? So I guess, Taylor, it depends on how long of a time frame is happening before they poop. So if you see a pattern in when they usually move their bowels, then you can kind of be heading that off at the pass. Or if they are resistant to pooping on the potty, which it sounds like in this case it is. She hasn't got, okay, try her on the potty with the latex balloon. But again, keep her engaged, give her a book to read, something she's going to enjoy. Now, let me just say, not devices. Please do not give your children phones to look at while they're on the toilet. No devices. That's way too young for that. No. Because that's like the dopamine hit they get from that. They're going to want to stay on the toilet all day long. So no devices. But I would just tell her, let's go on the potty and maybe give her the balloon to see if that works, if she goes that way. Okay, son is 3 years old with developmental delays. I've tried 3 days before, but no success. He is now playing in it and vocalizing when he is gone. Okay. Playing in it. Oh, she had pooped in the potty. Okay, Taylor, I see that. Okay, he's 3 years old with developmental delays and sensory processing disorder. I've tried 3 days with him and before with no success. You know what? I would wait. I would just back off a little bit. if he's starting to plan it, it's just a game for him. I would back off and just wait a couple of weeks and start again and do it again with the whole process. But also, um, if he'll take like a teddy bear or something and potty train with them. So I wouldn't push it with him. I would back off for a little bit and then start again. Okay, Taylor, here you go. You said, I think I wanted her to work on holding it and let me know, before pooping in her diaper. That would be great. Um, I'm the mom. Oh, child therapist. All right, gotcha. Totally understand now. Um, I'm just joking. But anyway, I wanted her to let me know before pooping in her diaper. Yeah, see, she controls that. You can't control that. Thank you for not giving her devices. Amen on that one. Yeah, like I said, I would just try the latex balloon with her. I've had people tell me that was very successful with their child, and they didn't get the balloon any other time, so they thought it was fun to have the balloon when they were on the potty. But, I would try that. I would give that a try and see what happens. Anyway, okay, we're out of time, so I'm going to check out here. Again, I put the link to PamelaPalanza.com here in the comments section. This live will go back up on that page probably this afternoon or tomorrow. And the link to the Potty Training in 3 Days ebook is there as well. So you can hit that if you just want to purchase that and have all this information downloaded instantly. It's up to you. And remember, hug and love your babies.